For 2025, Ducati has pulled the covers off a raft of updates to the Multistrada V4 range that focus on comfort and fuel efficiency. Pricing starts at $19,995 for the base model, $28,305 for the Multistrada V4 S. The US market gets the travel and radar trim by default and $32,995 for the Multistrada V4 Pikes Peak. All three will land in dealerships in October. While the announcement didn't include mention of V4 RS and V4 Rally variants, we assume both will be confirmed a little later. Visually, bar the paint job behind the headlamp, that's basically all there is to differentiate the 2025 Multistrada V4 from the 2024 model. In truth, other than that, the visual look of both machines is quite similar. In actuality, all it really does is makes the beak a little less prominent, despite Ducati claiming this puts the Multistrada V4 more stylistically in league with the Panigale. The 1158cc V4 Gran Turismo engine got the necessary homologation for Euro 5+, but its performance isn't touched. Ducati claims US versions will make 170 horsepower at 10,750 revolutions per minute and 91.3 pound-feet of torque at 9,000 revolutions per minute. The primary difference is to the cylinder deactivation strategy. Whereas previously the back bank only shut off at idle or when idling, the motor does that at low engine speeds now. Ducati claims the changes result in a 6% drop in fuel consumption. Ducati also updated the Multi V4 and V4 S dampers, giving them a more angular shape. The Pikes Peak versions get titanium Akrapovic dampers. The 2025 Multistrada V4 and V4 S come with 5 riding modes: Touring, Urban, Sport, the new Wet mode and revised Enduro option. Clearly designed to be used in wet conditions when grip is reduced, the Wet mode makes riding in the rain much safer. Changes to the Enduro mode include a reduction in maximum power to 114 horsepower and throttle response more suitable to riding off-road. Further to which, Enduro mode includes ABS, front and rear, cornering off, wheelie control, off, traction control intervention, reduced, rear wheel ABS, off. The aforementioned features are accented by an extra race riding mode on the Pikes Peak model. Wheelie control, traction control and cornering ABS fall under the new Ducati Vehicle Observer function. DVO is a cunning program that draws from 70 separate sensors to predict the ground forces at work on the motorcycle and the loads from various riding conditions. Developed in the course of Ducati's MotoGP effort, it premiered on the new Panigale. The 3-level engine brake control system premiered on rally variants will be standard fitment on all 2025 Multistrada V4 models. Multistrada V4 S is the first motorcycle in the world equipped with front and rear radar. From 2025, these sensors will feed into the new forward collision warning FCW that, starting next year on this and on all future big twin-cylinder Ducati motorcycles, shall signal through a warning on the TFT display the possibility of a collision with another vehicle located by the motorcycle. FCW hooks up adaptive cruise control, ACC, with the radar-powered BSD blind spot detection. It has the same general chassis design as the 2024 model, with the same aluminum monocoque frame and double-sided swingarm on both the V4 and V4S models. To that end, Ducati did raise the pivot point for the swingarm by 1 mm to give the suspension a better anti-squat effect. Not exactly sounding like a whole heap of difference maker, Ducati maintains it's the perfect blend to increase riding performance both solo and two-up with luggage. To further drive the point of its sportier mission, the Pikes Peak version will revert back to a single-sided swingarm. Curiously, the new Panigale goes the other way. In 2025, Ducati will introduce an automatic lowering device capable of lowering the riding height 1.2 inches when speeds drop below 6 miles per hour. It returns ride height to normal once back up over 30 miles per hour. With the touch of a button, the system may also be activated manually. As mentioned, It's fitted as standard to both the Multistrada V4 and V4 S sold in the United States market, though it's restricted to the S model in several other markets. The base model gets a rear shock with remote spring preload adjustment, allied to a fully adjustable 50mm inverted fork. Ducati Skyhook suspension semi-active for Multistrada V4 S position sensors on the front forks are new for improved precision. The new V4 S boasts of increased rear shock preload range from 12 to 20mm. Added to this, the V4 S also brings with it a new bump detection system. This technology helps in keeping the motorcycle stable even when transporting a passenger or luggage. Whatever the riding mode selected, for 2025 Ducati fitted a dedicated button that enables immediate adjustment of the responsiveness of the suspension. Suspension by Öhlins Smart EC 2.0 tuned to make riding sportier is used on the Pikes Peak model. This uses exactly the same event-based logic as employed in the Panigale V4 S and Street Fighter V4 S systems. Like the Multistrada V4 S, it boasts a dedicated suspension adjustment button. And dedicated suspension button is available, with on-the-fly changes possible by pressing the button above the gray mode button. Standard on the base model Multistrada V4 are Brembo 4-piston radial mount monoblock calipers and 320mm discs at the front, Brembo 2-piston calipers and 280mm discs at the rear. Standard S and Pikes Peak models share the same rear brake but come with larger 330mm front wheel rotors and updated Stylema calipers. All three models get an electronic combined braking system that governs the brakes at both ends from 2025 onwards. On the Pikes Peak model, combined braking automatically actuates the rear brake using a front-to-rear method when the hand control is used alone. On the standard V4 and V4S models, using the rear brake control alone fires up the mechanism controlling the front brake. It also works the other way around, controlling the front brakes from the rear. Ducati revised the V4S's luggage setup on the Rally model for two-up work, shifting the top case mounts and panniers rearward to give the passenger just a bit more legroom. Other passenger-friendly enhancements include new die-cast aluminum supports for the top casing. The colors for the Ducati Multistrada V4 2025 shall be Ducati red with black painted brake calipers, wheels in silver. For the S model, the colors provided shall be three: Ducati red, thrilling black, and Arctic white. The Pikes Peak uses Marcassini forged aluminum wheels, a carbon fiber front fender and beak, along with a dedicated paint job riding on inspiration from Ducati's MotoGP livery.